So what are the top upcoming phones in August and September 2019? There are a ton of phones. So let's start with the Vivo Nex. This is usually a more experimental phone from Vivo. They put some really cool features in this phone. We had a dual screen smartphone from them last year. It looks like they're going to take that secondary screen away, but keep the rounded or circular camera bump. The main changes here are that front screen. It's going to feature something called a waterfall display. That essentially means that the curve on the edges is going to be much more pronounced and cover much more of the edge, give you actually more screen real estate on the top and have a more pronounced, very harsh curve around to the edges. This means you can see more without it curving around the screens. Vivo have even shared the concept images of the phone, so we know what it's going to look like. Apart from that, expect top specs. Vivo put the best specs into this phone, so a Snapdragon 855 Plus, and this will definitely have 5G. There may be a 4G and a 5G version, or they may just stick with one phone and give it 5G, but Vivo have registered this for 5G networks, so we know we're getting a 5G version of that phone. And before we get onto a list of Android phones, the biggest phone of the year is the iPhone. This will be released next month in September, and a lot of people just don't consider the iPhone anymore. It is so expensive, but it is one of the best phones you can get. We know the cameras are going to get a huge upgrade this year. There'll be a new chip, iOS 13, but in terms of overall design and especially the screen design, it's largely unchanged from last year. Expect some novel features in the software department and a very large price. We expect an iPhone 11, an iPhone 11 Pro, and an iPhone 11 Pro Max. At least that's what the rumors are saying on the naming schedule this year. Xiaomi are releasing a 5G phone in September, but it's not the Mi Mix 4. Xiaomi are releasing a Xiaomi Mi 9S. At least that's the name in China that they've given to it at the moment. This is an upgraded Xiaomi Mi 9 with 5G. The design is largely the same, triple camera just on the side at the back there, but they've put a 5G modem in this one and a Snapdragon 855 Plus. It has a bigger battery than the Mi 9, 4,000 versus 3,300 milliamp hours. And there's rumors about 45 watt fast charging in this phone. That's very, very quick. Expect a price of at least 4,000 RMB, which is significantly more expensive than the Mi 9 when it came out at 3,000 RMB. Sticking on 5G, the Huawei Mate 20X 5G version has already released. It's on sale. You can buy it. It's about 6,500 RMB here in China anyway. A really great phone. We know all about the Mate 20X. This is the 5G version. And of course, next month, we're going to have the Mate 30 series. Really excited about that one. The flagship of all Chinese flagships, the Huawei Mate 30 Pro, will feature a new design, the waterfall design on the screen, which is obviously going to become a feature for flagships going forward. A new Kirin 985 processor in that one, with apparently a 5G modem chip integrated into the Kirin 985 processor. Not confirmed, but I've heard a lot of rumors about that one. Completely redesigned camera bump at the back. It's going to be circular, and they're going to add a new bigger camera sensor under the main sensor, improve the ultra wide too, and EMUI 10 on that one. New operating system based on Android. We're obviously going to get the Mate 30 non-Pro variant, and I'm hoping for a Mate 30X bigger screen variant as well. And at the other end of the scale, Realme are going to be releasing the Realme 5, the Realme 5 Pro, and they've also got a 64 megapixel flagship in the works too. The Realme 5 and Realme 5 Pro are upgrades over the Realme 3 series. The number 4 is unlucky in China, and so a lot of Chinese brands don't name their models with the number 4. So they've skipped the number 4 and gone straight to number 5. But sticking with the number 4, they've actually got quad cameras on the back of this new lineup. That's a big upgrade over the Realme 3 series. They're adding ultra wides, macro lenses, and depth sensors. So Realme are really going all out on the cameras here, and altogether they make really good phones in the budget category. That 64 megapixel camera phone from Realme is going to be released a little bit down the line. We're thinking sometime in October. Rivals to that series from Realme are the Redmi 8, Note 8 and Note 8 Pro, which are going to be released very soon in August. As far as I'm aware, the Note 8 from Redmi is the real budget phone. That'll be under 1,000 RMB in China anyway. We're looking at a different design, moving the camera from the side to the middle, keeping the fingerprint sensor on the back. The screen is mostly unchanged, but they're adding a much bigger battery, 5,000 milliamp hours versus 4,000 milliamp hours in the last one. The camera system is getting an upgrade too. The processor is getting a bump up as well, so improved all round. Then we come to the Note 8 and the Note 8 Pro, a little bit more expensive. Either the Pro version or both versions will feature the 64 megapixel camera sensor from Samsung. This is quite expensive, this sensor, so it's not confirmed whether Redmi are going to use it in both models or just the Pro model. That looks to feature a redesign as well. It looks like Xiaomi and Redmi are going for center placed camera bumps this time around and going away from the side mounted camera bump. Either the Pro or both models will feature quad cameras too. So they're really going head to head with those Realme smartphones, and they're going to be released about the same time as well. So that'll be an interesting battle, and I hope to feature them on the channel. Now the Vivo iQOO Pro 5G version will be coming very soon. We actually know the price. It's about 4,500 RMB for the 8GB version. This is Vivo's gaming brand. It will feature a Snapdragon 855 Plus, a huge battery and very fast charging, about 4,500 milliamp hours and apparently 44 watt fast charging. It will have an OLED screen, just a full HD screen, nothing more. It will keep a headphone jack. It's good if you're a gamer, you'll want to keep that. Vivo have shown off some pictures of the camera too, saying that it's not too shabby even though it's a gaming phone. But it is more expensive. 4,500 RMB is quite a lot to pay, and that's because it has that 5G modem. It's a 5G phone and the price has gone up. And then we get to Oppo. They will be releasing the Oppo Reno 2 series in India first, before China in August. This is an update to the standard Oppo Reno. The Oppo Reno 10x Zoom Edition is not getting updated or getting a new phone this year. That came directly from Oppo. Oppo have said that. So the normal Oppo Reno will be getting an upgrade. It will be getting quad cameras, so that's an upgrade from the current model. Expect a little boost in the processor too, but the battery and the screen and the pop-up camera will all remain. They really don't need updating. And some more news on Oppo. So apparently in 2020, the Oppo line of phones, so we've got the Find X series and the A and K series and the Reno series. In 2020, we'll get a more concrete timeline of new releases. So hopefully all of those releases will follow a more regular pattern. That'll be good going forward, so we know when and where to expect new phones from Oppo. And going into the Christmas build-up, we've got the OnePlus TV and the Mi Mix 4, look to be released a little bit later, and including a lot of other devices that we're gonna have to wait a little while before we see some more information on them. That's it for now, but I'll see you in the next one.